Tonight, we dedicate this program of Fractured Flickers to the men of the technical staff of your local television station. A splendid group of devoted technicians who never make a mistake.
1, 2.
Welcome to another hilarious, light-hearted episode of Fractured Flickers, television's answer to the Spanish Inquisition. Now, here is your host, Hans Conried. Thank you, Hans Conried.
Television's a marvelous medium, isn't it? Anywhere else, if you talk to yourself, they put you away in some quiet place. Well, it's time again to take another boob's eye view of the movies of yesteryear. You know, many persons have asked us what we call the procedure by which we fracture a flicker, the method by which we add modern words and music to pictures made years ago by somebody else. Well, the process does have a name. It's called adding insult to injury. Here's our first example.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we issue a challenge to you. You are about to see the life story of a great American. And as it unfolds, we ask you to guess, who is this man? You may have passed him on the street this morning without realizing you were close to greatness. He is the president of a large paper bag company, an executive who insists on personal contact with the public. But let us go back to the beginning. He was born during the San Francisco earthquake. In his own words, a hair-raising experience which had a noticeable effect on him. At the age of 30, he still found it difficult to get dates. A few years later, he joined the Lafayette Escadrille and became the first man to land a plane on Lake Pontchartrain, breaking a record and both legs at the same time. By now, you should know beyond a shadow of a doubt who this man is. In 1924, he left his apartment to join the United States Olympic team. A natural athlete, he broke more records, not to mention his pelvis, as a figure skater. Modesty prevented his acceptance of the various trophies which a grateful nation was eager to shower upon him. But he did enter politics and coined the now famous slogan, "My hat's in the ring-a-ding-ding." Following his defeat in 1927, he became a demolitions expert, blowing the lid off crooked county hospitals infested with veterans from World War II, which hadn't been fought yet. He also personally persuaded Jim Thorpe to enter Carlisle. Ladies and gentlemen, who is this man? It's me. How's that grab you?
As part of its operation, this television channel that you're watching has to comply with certain rules of broadcasting. One rule has to do with issuing a certain amount of public service information. Now, always eager to do its part, Fractured Flickers now brings you two items which fall into this category. Item number 1, Joey Johnson, go home, your mother wants you. Item number 2, the latest tips on real estate investment.
Hello, folks. Say, here's your chance to own valuable real estate. Yes, the friendly Land Grab Real Estate Company has a tract of first-rate acreage at a price that's right. Look at this value. The new Ban the Bomb Treaty made these lovely acres obsolete, and Land Grab snapped them up for you. Yes, folks, these choice lots are all located in sunny Yucca Flats. A small down payment brings you fun in the sun. And mutations, too. A quick stop at Land Grab's friendly blood bank, and one of these extra-large, fully improved home sites is yours. Almost. So why don't you plan a visit to Balm Springs Estates? It's freeway close to your favorite city. Just take the Yucca Flats off-ramp to our luxurious, uncrowded parkway. Ease along the mountain trail, then coast down the valley along the unspoiled scenic route. Before you know it, you'll breeze into Balm Springs Estates. First stop, the cheerful land office. While one of our courteous girls greets you, an attendant will park your car. Then it's off to lovely Balm Springs Estates for a tour of our distinctive decorated design dwellings. No run-of-the-mill construction here. Land grab builds to last. And each home is complete with sunny basement fun room, private swimming pool and patio, individual carport, and for the winter months, forced air heating. All are fully insulated, too, to assure your year-round comfort and convenience. And in happy Balm Springs Estates, you have a wide choice of home types, ranging from the fashionable sunken living room with picture window to the always popular split-level home. If you're the outdoor type, you'll want the versatile convertible model. And you hay fever victims will appreciate the clean, healthful air. Balm Springs is a complete community, you know, with paved streets, playgrounds, supermarkets, yes, even a car wash. For you commuters, there's dependable rail transportation. There's also a reliable steamboat line, and it couldn't be closer to your home. Our airport offers both westbound and eastbound flights daily. Impressed? Say, who wouldn't be? So why don't you visit us at our office? Do it today. And one of our trained salesmen will step out and speak to you. Remember, at Land Grab, there's no obligation, ever. So, folks, if you're thinking of buying a home, stop in soon. And remember Land Grab's motto, money, 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 money.
Well, here's a sparkling gem of information. It seems that after 35 years, the famous Lady in Black has left Rudolph Valentino's place and is picketing our studio. I knew she was fickle.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting television's annual Flemmy Awards. And here is your master of ceremonies, Ruby Wheeler.
Hello out there, America, and good evening, you guys. We'll start off with the 3 nominations for the best dramatic show of the year. What's our first one?
Ladies and gentlemen, the first entry is the popular Kansas City medical series, Ben Casey.
That's fantastic, Dr. Zebra.
But it's true. Dr. Ben just removed his own tonsils.
How about that?
In fact, Nurse Rebstock is changing his bandages this very moment.
But, Doctor, how could you remove your tonsils without getting a sore throat?
Simple. I took them out through my ears.
Entry number 2, the exciting crime series, The Touchables.
On July 18th, Elliot Mess and his men were attending a high-level meeting. At the same time, gangster Frank Nutty was holding a low-level meeting in a sewer to crack down on violence on The Touchables show.
I'm telling you, fella, you killed too many guys this week.
What do you mean, too many? Only 4?
Men up, boys, don't want no more violence. Right, boys? Right.
Right.
So shoot him.
And the final entry, Gun Folks.
My name's Matt Dodge. This is Dillon City. When I rode in with the short branch, Katie seemed a little upset.
Where you been, Matt?
I had to go after Chester. He broke out again last night.
Broke out in what? A rash?
You trying to be funny?
Maybe it was only 3.
There you got the 3 finalists. And the winner is the Ruby Wheeler Show. And now for the next category, the Best Children's Show.
Entry number 1, Ring-a-Ding-Ding School.
Hi, kids. Who's got the dice?
Entry number 2, Professor Wizard.
Here's something you can make at home, kids. A little ipecac, syrup of squill, drink it down, and...
Entry number 3, Friendly and his Rocks.
Do-do-do-do.
Hokey smoke, Friendly, what you eating?
Obviously, I'm eating worms. Would you like some rock?
Gee, yeah.
I'll bet you would, you little creep. Run along and get your own worms.
And the big winner in the Best Kids category is... the Ruby Wheeler Show! Okay, you guys, here we go with the overall best show of the whole year.
Entry number 1, the White House Tour.
Welcome to the White House After Hours Club, just outside beautiful Dillon City, where there's never a cover, never a minimum, and never a raid. It's run by the Marshal himself.
Entry number 2, the Rose Bowl Game.
Hirsch is coming off the bench with a play. It may be a field goal or a red dog. Oh, it's a quarterback sneak. The quarterback is past the 50. He slips. No, he's going to pass. There's a man open. Touchdown. The game is over, and there go the goalposts. And the winner of the best show of the year is... the Ruby Wheeler Show. Oh, for crying out loud.
Beautiful, baby, beautiful.
Nice going, kid. Congratulations. You really wowed him, I want to tell you.
The press wants to see you, baby.
What's the matter, kid? The Ruby Wheeler Show won every award.
But I ain't Ruby Wheeler.
I'm Ruby Wheeler.
Tonight, our guest is one of the most gifted and honored writers and producers in television today. The originator of that wonderful world of fantasy, The Twilight Zone. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rod Serling.
Thank you, Hans. It's nice to be here.
Mr. Serling, I'm sure that you've been asked this question many times before, so therefore I'm sure that you'll have an answer for us. Just where do you get the ideas for the far-out things that happen in The Twilight Zone?
Well, Hans, the usual way of writing something for the Twilight Zone is to take some ordinary, average situation that occurs in the world every day and then tone it down a little.
You mean that you think that the things that happen in real life are as fantastic as the things that happen in The Twilight Zone?
Well, look at it this way. Fractured Flickers is on the air, isn't it?
That's pretty fantastic. Oh, it's not very funny, but it's fantastic. Yeah.
You mean to tell me that the Fractured Flickers, Hans, isn't right out of the Twilight Zone?
Well, we were hoping to keep it a general secret until renewal time. Mr. Serling, with your professional interest in the strange and the unknown, you must follow our outer space program with a great deal of interest.
Well, not really, Hans. You see, for us fantasy and science fiction buffs, reading about today's space exploration is rather like looking at last year's newspaper. After all, Jules Verne had us on the moon 75 years ago. And writers like Henlein and Clark and Bradbury have made space travel sort of a normal means of locomotion.
I had no idea they were so backward at Cape Canaveral.
Well, look at the way they count. But I do think that traveling over interstellar distances is a fascinating way to live. I often do it myself.
You do?
Oh, indeed I do. The things you see, Hans, the alien creatures you meet, the weird situations you get into.
You are speaking of outer space.
Oh, Hans, inner space. Because no matter how far mankind travels out toward the stars, you'll find greater distances, more beautiful sights, and more frightening creatures inside his own mind.
Oh, I wish I'd said that. Some
I
minds...
wish I'd written it.
Some minds, you know, that I know would be a mere sleeper jump in any direction. Mr. Serling, we on Fractured Flickers are very much aware of your continuing fight for recognition and stature for writers on television.
And other media as well.
Oh, yes, yes. And now, as you know, we are obliged to employ several writers on Fractured Flickers. I wonder if you'd care to comment on their work, hmm?
I'm not a professional critic.
Oh, my dear fellow, we're all professional critics these days.
Well, I did look at some of the fractured flickers, and I talked to your writers.
Well, that was nice of you. I don't, you know.
Well, I told them the first thing they should do is join a union.
That's a nasty word. The Writers' Union?
No, Hans, the Butchers' Union.
Well, it was only fitting, but then, of course, we'd have to buy them some of those little white jackets. Well, Mr. Serling, it's been a pleasure having you in our little soiree for more than one reason.
What do you mean?
Well, it was comforting for me to discover that you are really a very normal flesh and blood creature, just as is everyone else, and that the Twilight Zone and the things that happen in it are purely fictional.
Of course they are, Hans. Well, I see it's time for me to be going, so I'll say goodnight to you and your listeners till next time.
Thank you, and good night, Rod Serling, wherever you are. Can we move right along to the next flicker, please? I have to have this suit back at the funeral parlor in half an hour.
At the earnest request of baseball fans everywhere, this picture is respectfully dedicated to the game's least known hero, Fungo Foster, the inventor of the balsa wood bat. Fungo was born in the little town of Herdlicka Mills, where baseball was invented. Or would have been if Abner Doubleday had been able to spell Herdlicka. Fungo was the town iceman, dealing exclusively in king-size cubes. But his heart wasn't really in it, and his ice business soon melted away to nothing. No, Fungo's real career was whittling. Each day he'd go to the woods and cut down an entire tree just for the whittling wood.
And I don't care what Smokey the Bear says.
To show you what a whittling fool Fungo was, that lollipop stick he's giving to his little sister is all that remains of a 90-foot spruce tree. Still in his bumbling and slightly soggy-footed way, the inept Iceman was a force for progress in his town.
That's it. I'm going to get an electric refrigerator.
If Fungo had another interest besides whittling, it was the winsome charmer Willa Mae Conkey, for whom he had whittled this 8-foot canoe out of petrified wood.
And right now, I'm whittling you a new balsa wood canoe paddle.
You're also getting your feet wet, you nut.
Hey, come here, Fungo. You promised you'd do it today. Come on.
That's Howie Dingle. Gets his kicks out of being throwed in the lake. All right, Howie, let's go. Now, where's the spot? Oh, there it is. How's that, Howie?
Oh, that's so tingly. Let's do one more time, Fungo. Come on, just one more time.
That Howie's a cart. Where'd she go?
There she went, with the town Romeo furred Appleby.
All right for you, Willa Mae Conkey. You see if I whittle you a new balsa wood canoe paddle. Only trouble is, got it half finished already. Well, I'll think of something I can make out of it. Maybe another lollipop stick.
But that night, Fungo Foster got his inspiration.
About the only thing I can whittle out of that is a balsa wood baseball bat. All right, I'll do it.
Of course, his mother was a constant source of encouragement.
What now, son?
Balsa wood baseball bat?
I like for you to whittle.
That's good.
You know why?
Nope.
I like to be known as Whittler's mother.
That's a good one, Mom.
Not good, but fast.
Well, Fungo set to work with a half-finished canoe paddle and a jackknife. And by next 4th of July, his task was completed. His brother spoke to the manager of the hometown team.
That boy has the answer to the jackrabbit ball. Zoo-wee!
Balsa wood bat? You're nuts.
Do me a favor. Just come and talk to him.
Okay. So you think you can hit homers, huh?
Yep.
Ever played a game?
Nope.
On our team, that's an advantage. I'll give you and your bat a try.
Zoo-wee!
As you can see, they took their baseball seriously in Herdlicka Mills. Then, when Herdlicka Mills was trailing by 1 run in the bottom of the 9th with 2 out...
Now batting for Atkins, Fungo Foster. Stick it in his ear!
But Fungo was encouraged by his mother's cheery smile. The first pitch was a curve.
Take one.
Take him out! Take him out! The next pitch was a slider.
Ball one.
Then a knuckleball.
Strike two.
Ooh. Then a fastball.
Ball two.
Tension mounted as the count went to 2-2.
Ball three.
This was Fungo's big chance to prove the power of the balsa wood bat. A hush fell over the crowd as he squared off at the plate. Determination was written in his eyes, in his hands, even in his feet as he faced the fireballing right-hander, who then proceeded to serve up the slowest change-up in the history of baseball.
You're out. Zoo-wee! Get out of there with that balsa wood bat, Foster. Dag nabbit, you couldn't even hit home plate with it. I could, too. Oop.
After the game, the hometown folks wanted to throw a party for Fungo.
You said it, Sonny. A necktie party. Ma, they want to lynch me.
I'll miss you, son.
But Fungo outran the crowd and kept on going till he was clear to the next town. But no matter where he went, the story was always the same. A baseball game, a strikeout, a broken bat, and a riot. Then one day, Fungo's luck changed for the better. His little sister talked the manager of a professional baseball team into actually buying one of Fungo Foster's famous balsa wood bats for more money than Fungo had ever seen at one time before.
$1.50. Honey, we're rich.
Well, the rest is history. Today, Fungo Foster is a power in the world of business. Beautiful women invite him to candlelight suppers, even though he can't stand candle. He is besieged by autograph hunters, young and old. The great and the near great take him into their palatial mansions and share with him the good things of life.
Down the hatch.
And all because that one team still has faith in Fungo Foster's balsa wood bats and uses them throughout the entire season. And who is that hardy band of baseball greats who care more for the balsa wood bat than they do for base hits? Yes, you can tell by their cap insignia and by the black mourning bands on their sleeves.
Who else? It's the New York Mets.
Ode to an Indian, an original poem dedicated to all the survivors of the Custer Massacre. Oh, Indian, they blamed so much on you, when all you did was sing and dance and have a barbecue. The land was yours, and life was good. It really was a pip, especially standing on that rock to watch the Cherokees strip. They said you were a dirty guy, but you always played it fair. And then they claimed your eyes were weak. That day you skinned a bear. The Indian lived a peaceful life, hunting deer and eating crow. And then the paleface came along and struck the first low blow. The red man would not stand for this. He called his braves together, and on the war path they did ride in fair or stormy weather. The battle raged for days and days. You Indians were surly, and the white men who survived it all were not exactly curly. The fighting's done, the paleface won, the reservation is your home. Oh, Indian, how do you like this poem?
One, two.
the announcement you've all been waiting for. Good night.